And so we say hi again, everybody, and we greet you on a warm, a little bit muggy Friday night for week 4 of this, the 2019 high school football season, as the undefeated Farmington Falcons take on the Ferndale Eagles in an OAA, Oakland Activities Association Blue Division matchup. Well, heady days for football in the district these days, as both the Farmington Falcons at 3-0 and the North Farmington Raiders head into action tonight with perfect records, 3-0. The only two teams without a blemish on their record in the Oakland Activities Association Blue. Falcons have really been tearing it up on offense. I mean, they have been carrying the rock, so to speak. 350 yards on the ground for Farmington last week in a victory at Ypsilanti Lincoln, 35-14. In 3 games so far this season, the Falcons have scored 117 points. So they're averaging 39 points a game. They've scored those 117 while allowing only 30. So the average score for a Falcons game is 39-10. They opened on the road, beating Henry Ford 33-6. The home opener 2 weeks ago tonight, a 49-10 thrashing of Royal Oak. And then last week at Ypsi Lincoln, a 14-14 tie in the last minute before halftime. A turnover by Ypsi Lincoln resulted in a Falcon touchdown. They added 2 scores in the second half while blanking Lincoln. And as we say, won that football game by a score of 35-14. As for the Raiders, good news on that front. Miles Gresham, their outstanding young running back. We've really enjoyed watching him play the first 3 weeks of the season. He scored 7 touchdowns, 5 on the ground, 1 receiving, 1 on a kick return. He was injured late in the game last week. A victory over these same Ferndale Eagles. A victory for the Raiders, 22-0 over these same Ferndale Eagles. We were worried at the time. It didn't look good. He came off the field, did not return, but word is he has sustained just a contusion to the knee. He is not playing tonight as a precautionary measure as the Raiders are at Pontiac, but he is expected to return 1 week from tonight. So the good news there on Miles Grisham, and we're certainly glad to report that. As we mentioned, and I think this is a TV 10 first, we have the same visiting team in consecutive weeks. We saw the Ferndale Eagles last week at Holland Field. 22-0 was the final score in favor of the Raiders, but as you will recall, it was quite an interesting ball game, and one that looked for a time like it might go the other way. Raiders led 12-0 late in the third quarter when they were victimized by a poor call. A fumble that was ruled a fumble. It was returned by Ferndale down inside the 30-yard line, and quickly they moved inside the 10, had a first and goal at the 3, and as the game went to the fourth quarter, the Raiders pulled off a tremendous goal line stand, stopped them, and went on to the victory 22-0. Well, that was a week ago. Ferndale Raiders are in town right now. We mentioned their record is 1-2 overall. They are 1-1 in the OAA Blue. Now kicking off, or preparing to kick off for the undefeated Farmington Falcons. It's Eli Bride, number 25. And he sends that ball deep inside the 10-yard line. Juggled, but will be returned by Ferndale in a little gap up the middle, and the return man all the way out to very nearly the 29-yard line. So a 24-yard return for the Ferndale Eagles. They have pretty good field position. We'll spot them at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for Ferndale there.
1st and 10 on the 28-yard line.
Well, we saw Ferndale, last week wearing those yellow jerseys with sort of washed out numbers. Tonight, gray uniforms with yellow numbers on them. They're difficult for us to pick up here. We'll do the best we can. I can tell we're going to be using the binoculars a lot tonight. Up under center, quarterback is Joe Louis Estelle, number 7. Estelle will look to throw down the middle on the first play of the ball game. Intercepted, picked off by the Falcons' Alan Roberson with the interception and the return. And he's shoved out of bounds across the way, but the Falcons are going to take over in Ferndale territory, getting the interception by Roberson on the very first play of the football game. They will have the football 1st and 10 at the Ferndale 37-yard line. There you see it, Roberson with that interception. And the Falcons will take over 1st and 10 at the Ferndale 37. We told you they've been rolling on offense. When they get a play like that, a takeaway by the defense, well, that helps matters even more. I believe the Falcons have called timeout here. Ferndale called timeout. Falcons were getting ready to get up under center there. And Ferndale calls a timeout. So all this happening just 16 seconds into the football game.
Parents, let's not forget about bushes of Farmington Hills.
And the Raiders have it at the Ferndale 37-yard line. This is the 5th all-time meeting between the Raiders. And we've had North Farmington on TV 10 each of the last 3 weeks. I'm used to saying Raiders. This is the 5th all-time meeting between the Falcons and the Ferndale Eagles. The Falcons have won 4 of the previous 5, beat them last year 10-7. Their only loss in the series came 2 years ago back in 2017 when the Eagles beat the Falcons 37-7. The series began with a Falcon win back in 2002. So here we go, Falcons on offense. The give goes up the middle. Not a lot of room for Jordan Turner. And the 6'3", 230-pound senior running back picks up a gain of a couple of yards to the 34. Called a gain of 3. Second and 7, 34-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Quarterback is Max Martin, another senior. That's a theme we will develop tonight. Keon Shaw, number 1, is to his right, and there's a whistle at the snap and a flag. Coach Siroch of Farmington is pointing at Ferndale. We'll see if the officials concur here. It looks like they will walk 5 off against the Eagles. So they jumped offside.
5-yard penalty. Second and 2.
And it's going to be 2nd and 2. Now the line of scrimmage is the 29-yard line. So it's Alan Roberson with the interception on the first play of the football game, putting the Falcons in business, deep in Ferndale territory. 2nd and 2, and there goes Keon Shaw up the middle to the 26-yard line. First down. Depending on the spot. Yeah, he picked it up. He picked it up. Shaw, his first touch of the night, and he gets 3. First down for either side. Falcons rushing for 350 yards in their 35-14 win at Ypsi Lincoln last Friday night. Turner and Shaw flanking the quarterback Martin, who throws it off into the flat for Nolan Moore. Moore battling for yardage. There are not many to be found. Picks up 2 to the 24 on that little toss into the flat. So the Falcons will scrimmage now for the 24-yard line. The Falcons 3-0. The North Farmington Raiders 3-0. That's what I forgot to look up. When was the last time, if ever? Oh, there's a nice little move by Keon Shaw to avoid being brought down at first contact, and he's able to plunge forward down to the 21-yard line. He turns what looked like it was going to be either a no gain or a loss of a yard or so into a 3-yard pickup. But it's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 21. In fact, you know what? Let's put that ball on the 22. That last play picked up 2. But again, it looked right off the handoff like it may be a loss of a yard or so. Keon Shaw in the backfield, Moore coming in motion. They fake the handoff to Moore. It's a dive play up the middle, and Max Martin, the quarterback, inside the 15-yard line, down to the 13 or even the 12, and he picks up a first down for the Falcons. He's down to the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 9 for Martin.
First and 10 on the 13-yard line.
So 1st and 10 Falcons at the 13. Well-designed, well-executed play as Nolan Moore came around left to right from the slot position. You see him in your picture there, number 3. A good fake on the handoff, and it created a seam up the middle, and Max Martin exploited it. 1st and 10. Again, Moore in motion. Same play. Martin back up the middle. Stayed on his feet momentarily, but he's driven to the turf. I think forward progress to the 9. So Martin with a 4-yard pickup this time. And it's 2nd and 6 from the 9. The same play. Nolan Moore coming in motion. And Martin holds that handoff, holds that fake for a beat or two. And in both instances here, number 4 of the Falcons has pulled the ball back and carried it himself. So the Falcons are inside the 10. They're down to the 9-yard line. 7.5 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless. Clock is running. Martin out of the gun. Little handoff to Turner. Turner cuts it up inside and into the end zone. He goes. That's Roberson. Alan Roberson on the carry. Alan Roberson, number 11, with the touchdown. So the man who picked it off takes it in. Alan Roberson with a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons move into a 6-0 lead with 7:18 to go here in the first quarter. Extra point to be attempted by Eli Bride. Bride's kick is up and out of the hold of Justin Odzvich. It is good. And it's a 7-0 lead for the Falcons.
Ferndale Eagles 0.
The drive took 2 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock. Or I'm sorry. Let me refigure that. 4 minutes and 26 seconds. As the Falcons go 39 yards, 37 yards in 7 plays. 37 yards, 7 plays, 4:26, the time of the drive, and a 7-0 Falcons lead with 7:18 to go in the opening quarter. Rich Kincaid with you here in the booth. Sam Fisher is with us. We'll have stats by Sam coming up for you throughout the broadcast tonight as the Falcons take their first step to a perfect 4-0 start. Last time the Falcons began a season 4-0 was way back last year. Farmington began the year 5-3. And then remember they had that showdown against undefeated Madison Heights. Madison lost it, but still finished the regular season with a record of 6-3. Won their first division title in years as the kickoff goes into the end zone. And then fell in the second round of the playoffs to finish the year with a record of 8-4. So Corey Soroch, over the course of the last 2 years, has a record of 14-10. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He has a record. His overall record in his 3 seasons at Farmington is 14-10. His record in the past 2 years is 11-4. That's not too bad, 11-4. This play fails to gain. It was a carry by Jay Sean Adams. Jay Sean's the number 23 we had so much trouble identifying in our broadcast last week. They actually will give him forward progress for a 1-yard gain. So officially the ball on the 21 and officially 2nd down and 9. And it takes Joe Lewis Estelle, the quarterback for Ferndale, some time to get to the sideline, then back to the huddle. Offset eye. And there's that kid Train bouncing off first contact, brought down by second contact though, as he was dumped in behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Sims, number 9, got him. That's that little Trajan Pickett, the 5'7", 180-pound running back, and they call him Train. And Train is dropped for a loss on that play. It's a loss of 6 back to the 15.
They're down in 15. Let's hear it for the defense.
So it's 3rd and 15 from the 15. Good job by the Falcons to get to Train before he got to the line. A good job by Cameron Sims to finish the play. So 3rd down and 15. Lewis back near his own goal line, firing deep. That ball's in the air a long time, and it's intercepted again, picked off by the Falcons out near the 40-yard line. And it's Cameron Sims with the interception. Unless it's Aaron Watson. That was either number 6 or number 9 who got it for the Falcons. And we're seeing 6 in the shot here, so I'm going to assume it was he. Let's take a look at it. This ball's just in the air entirely too long. That's the problem on this play. And it's intercepted by the Falcons. They'll have it again at the 37-yard line. So the interception by Watson. And as was the case after the interception by Roberson, the Falcons take over at the 37 of Ferndale. So a little dump off into the flat, and it's Jordan Turner down near the 30-yard line. That was Stevie Guerrero, the senior backup quarterback, number 8 in the game for the Falcons, completing that pass to Turner. Turner with a pickup of 7 on the catch. And the ball down to the 30. So that's interesting. Guerrero in the ballgame on the second series. You see him there, number 8. I formation, straight eye. Keon Shaw goes busting up the middle. Solid gain for Keon. Give him 6 as he's down to the 24. That's a first down.
First down for Keon Shaw.
And the Falcons down to the Ferndale 24-yard line. The offensive line of the Falcons will try to identify those young men. They're opening big holes for the running backs early in this one. 7-0 Falcons lead with 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Great to be with you here at Falcon Field. This is the first time we've seen the Falcons in action this season. We like what we've seen so far, and look at this. It's Keon Shaw cutting it to the sideline, down towards the goal line. Did he get in? No, stopped at the 2. Shaw gets 22 on that carry, and it's first and goal from the 2. And another first down for the Falcons. This is all Keon Shaw on this one. This is running talent. Just needs that little seam, and boy, he's off to into the secondary before you know it. Slammed out of bounds, actually at the 3. So 21 on the carry to the 3-yard line. Whistles, a flag, and a procedure call here against the Falcons. So first and goal at the 3 becomes first and goal at the 8. We mentioned it's cooling off now that the sun is going down, but very warm at kickoff time for this time of year. It was 83 degrees at kickoff. It's also muggy. But now it's cooling off. The sun's going down. It's turning into a beautiful Friday night for high school football. Here comes Shaw. Cutting it up inside, gets spun to the turf at the 5. Shaw gets 3.
Tackled by Wilmington. Down to the 5-yard line. Second and goal.
Max Martin, number 4, back into quarterback the Falcons in this goal-to-go situation. Jeremiah Smith, you saw him for a minute. He's the big right tackle, number 74. Martin out of the gun. Moore in motion. It's Martin again on the keeper. Right up the gut, into the end zone, untouched, unscathed. 13-0 Falcons. 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns for Farmington. Martin goes 5 yards for the touchdown with 3:18 to go. Falcons lead 13-0. They ran that fake to Moore again. And the extra point off the toe of Eli Bride is good. So it's Farmington 14, Ferndale no score. Another 37-yard scoring drive for the Falcons. A second scoring drive that began at the 37 as the result of an interception. And this time the Falcons go 37 yards and 5 plays to score. Took them 7 plays to score after that first turnover, after that first interception, won by Roberson, following the pick by Watson. Took them 5 plays to take it to the end zone. So a 14-0 Farmington lead here. We're in the first quarter. We mentioned at the outset the Falcons averaging almost 40 points a game this season. They scored 33 on opening night. That's their season low. 49 in the home opener against Royal Oak and 35 last week on the road against FC Lincoln. 39 points per game for the Falcons. This ball will be returned by J. Sean Adams. Won't be returned far, though. He was brought down at the 18. Ojemudia on the stop for the Falcons. You see him, number 19, Andrew Ojemudia. Ojemudia, a famous name in Harrison football lore. It'll become a famous name here at Farmington as well if Ojemudia continues to make plays like that. He's a junior. There's an interesting note that we'll pass along about the Falcons roster in just a moment. Of course, the roster bolstered, as was North Farmington's, by the fumble recovered by the Falcons. Fumble down there on the exchange and recovered by Andre Wardlaw. Andre Wardlaw with the recovery. 3 possessions for Ferndale, 3 turnovers. And now the Falcons are going to scrimmage 1st and 10 at the Ferndale 16. How about that? 1st and 10 Falcons at the 18. They take over with 3:10 to go in the quarter. Leading 14-0. All their points coming off turnovers. Martin flips it into the flat for Greg Moore. And he's shoved out of bounds. I'm thinking around the 10. Let's see where they spot him out. Spot the ball at the 11-yard line. That's a gain of 7 on the toss to Moore. Second and 3 from the 11. Falcons trying to turn this one into a rout early. 3 consecutive possessions by Ferndale that ended in a turnover, or if you prefer a takeaway. Martin with a direct snap inside the 5 to the end zone. It goes in standing up. Again, unscathed. Touched a little bit on that one, but not much. Not much touch. And Max Martin with a flag on the play at the goal line goes into the end zone. Let's see what the deal is. So Martin turns it into a Wildcat play. Looks like it's going to be an end around here, doesn't it? Yeah, he at the 2 or 3 yard line, he cuts it up inside and just strolls into the end zone. Would-be tacklers bouncing off of him. But no touchdown. It's a holding call against the Falcons. Actually, it's 2 holding calls against the Falcons. The second of them is accepted. And it's going to be 2nd down and 3. I'm sorry. It's going to be more than 3. I will wait till I see where they put the football. It's back to the 21-yard line. So the touchdown wiped out. Touchdown null, says my notes. Holding. And it is 2nd down, 13 from the 21-yard line.
Patrick Washington hobbling off. 81, Ferndale.
Okay. Patrick Washington, Sam tells me, is headed to the Ferndale sideline under his own power, but hobbling. And I think the problem here is that the injured Ferndale player is too close to the sideline to permit a play to be run. And he's down on his back right now. So they're going to tend to him for a moment or two, and then we'll resume play here. 14-0 Falcons. 2:56 to go, first quarter. An interception by Farmington Roberson, resulting in a 37-yard Falcon touchdown drive. And an interception by Watson, also at the Ferndale 37, resulting in a second Falcon touchdown drive. Now the Falcons recover a fumble. Pass by Watson skipped and will be incomplete down near the 10-yard line. He was trying to get it in there to Jacody Sikora, but it's incomplete. Third down and 13. Oh, wait a minute.
No, it was a complete pass.
Oh, they're calling that a complete pass. Down to the 8-yard line. I'd like to have a look at that. That's a 13-yard gain. I think, no, it's not a first down. Oh, that ball, it sure looked, I called it the way I saw it. It looked like it skipped to me. It's going to be instead third down and a couple. From the 8. And picking up first down yardage for the Falcons is Keon Shaw, as he's down to the 5. So Shaw 3 yards and a first down. And it's 1st and 10 Falcons at the 5. I'm just a little surprised here, that's all. Hey, maybe I saw it wrong. That can happen, that happens. But I heard the PA announcer next to me saying, hey, that bounced. At any rate, 1st and goal. No replay in high school football. Sometimes the breaks go for you, as they appear to have in this one for the Falcons. Sometimes they go against you, as the replay showed us last week at North Farmington, a whistle before the snap.
Timeout Farmington.
Falcons called a timeout.
The owners of a black Dodge Durango EDF 7961 and a black Ram truck DZC 4297. You must move your vehicles who are parked in a fire lane, and you will be ticketed if not moved by the end of the first quarter.
The down marker across the way indicates that it is 4th down. The ball was spotted closer to the 6th than to the 5. So this is going to be 4th and inches for the Falcons. So it's not a first down that carried by Shaw. And instead, 4th and 1 from the 6. So we apologize for that. That's 2 plays out of 3, maybe 2 in a row we got all bollocksed up on. I sure thought that was an incomplete pass. 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Falcons call their timeout. They will go for it here. Leading 14-0. Max Martin, number 4, under center. Sikora, number 7, and Moore, number 13, heading to the left side, the top side of the formation. Martin on the keeper. Martin to the goal line. Martin barreling towards the end zone. Did he get in? We're waiting to see. Apparently he did not. Well, where are you going to spot it then if he's not in? Huh? Yeah, that's down to the 1. So Martin gets 5. Gets the first down. 1st and goal from the 1. So the formation all bunched up. 3 in the backfield. The give goes to a spinning Keon Shaw. Shaw spins into the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons. And again, Farmington takes advantage of a turnover to score.
Another flag.
There's a flag on the field now. It's in the end zone. See what the official tells us about this one. May have occurred after the score. I'm not sure. They're lining up for an extra point. But the official comes to the side. Here we go. Touchdown counts. I'm not sure what the penalty was all about, but the touchdown counts. And that makes it a 20-0 ball game, still in the first quarter. Osditch to hold, and third extra point attempt in this first quarter due from Eli Bride. It's up, and it's 21-0.
Is up and good. Falcons 21, Eagles 0.
Touchdown comes with 51 seconds to go, 50 seconds to go in the quarter. That was a short scoring drive. 18 yards in 6 plays. (21-0) Farmington, all 21 points, the result of turnovers by Ferndale. 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. So Ferndale giving up in the first quarter tonight virtually as many points as they gave up all week last week to North Farmington. Raiders beat them 22-0 last Friday night. And here tonight, the Falcons lead 21-0. That penalty was a personal foul against Ferndale, and it is assessed on the kickoff. So Farmington will kick off from the Ferndale 45. Just guessing here, but I'm thinking Bride's just going to boom it into the end zone. And he does. Kicked it through the end zone completely. So Ferndale, you have to wonder what's going through their minds right now. They've had the football. Well, let's take a look. They've had it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. They've turned it over 3 times in 5 plays tonight. They threw an interception on the first snap of the game. Next time they got the ball, they threw another interception on 3rd down. Next possession, they fumble it away on first down. 5 plays total for Ferndale. Negative yardage, 3 turnovers. 1st and 10 for them at their own 20-yard line. Joe Lewis Estelle is, check that, at Kelvin Lyleton, number 8, in at quarterback. And before Ferndale can run the play, there's a flag and a procedure call. So it's 1st and 15 from the 15 now for Ferndale. The Raiders are on the road tonight, taking on a winless. There's a fumble again. Now they pick it up, run a pitch play, and it's going to lose yardage. Oh, the ball carriers swarmed under. There are 4 Falcons back there. 55, David Palujai, the senior. 58, Sam Zervos, another senior. Back there to drop the running back, Michael Rogers, for a loss. Rogers loses 3 on that play, back to the 12. So it's 2nd down and 18. The Falcons are really bringing the wood, especially the defense here tonight. Roll out by Lyleton, and he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Engelbert Vila gets the stop.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And as the first quarter comes to an end, it is going to be 3rd down and 20 to go for Ferndale at their own 10-yard line. Your score at the end of the first quarter tonight is Farmington 21, Ferndale no score. Well, I have not, to my recollection, seen a quarter where it was so one-sided, where the dominance was so tilted to one side. In this case, the Farmington Falcons. Ferndale running 7 plays in the quarter, turning it over 3 times and racking up negative yardage for the quarter. Farmington, meanwhile, had 3 possessions, each the result of a takeaway. They had a scoring drive of 37 yards, a scoring drive of 37 yards, and a scoring drive of 18 yards. So that's 92 yards of offense for the Falcons in that first quarter. Ferndale, meanwhile, had -5. -8. They had -10. Their total offense in the first quarter was -10. And they've got it third down and 20 from their own 10-yard line. As now they will move north to south, left to right on your TV10 TV screen. The pitch is faked. Lyleton, pressure coming, throws deep down the middle, not particularly close to anybody. The intended receiver was number 45, Dalen Martin. Lyleton was dumped after he threw, but I don't see a flag, and it's 4th down. 4th and 20 Ferndale. They'll kick it away from their own 10. How about that? Sikora deep, and in this case that means he's standing just inside the Ferndale 45-yard line. The punter is Kevin Seville. Had a decent week punting against the Raiders last week. A whistle stops things here momentarily. Delay a game here against Ferndale. So it just cost him another 5 yards. Also puts a little more pressure on the kicker, right? The rush is going to come faster. No, it's not. The snap goes over his head. That's a safety for the Falcons. Flag came flying in, but that may have been because the ball went out of bounds. I don't think there was anything penalizable. If that'll work on the play itself. That will be a safety for the Falcons. And that makes it a 22-0 Falcon lead. Sorry, 23-0. The safety occurs 6 seconds into the second quarter.
Penalty is declined for Farmington. Safety!
So there you go. 3 touchdowns and a safety for Farmington in the first quarter and 6 seconds of this game, and a 23-0 lead. And now Ferndale, at least when they kick, they'll have some breathing room. The Falcons cannot rush a free kick, and they'll kick instead of from their own end zone, from their own 20-yard line. But trail now 23-0. Now, the Ferndale Eagles buried tonight, essentially giving up more points in the first quarter to Farmington than they did in the entire game last week to the North Farmington Raiders. That was a 22-0 win by North Farmington. Ferndale opened with a win on the road against, they opened on the road with a loss against Seaholm, 41-6. Won the next week, home against Pontiac, 44-6. And then lost to the Raiders last week, 22-0. They trail big time here tonight. It's taken by Turner on the hop. Looking for a seam up the middle, brought down at midfield. Or check it, that was Roberson on the return. Allen's having a big night. Interception, scored a touchdown, and now the return of the free kick into Ferndale territory. Falcons will snap the ball at the Ferndale 49. Leading it 23-0. I got a feeling a lot of Falcons will see playing time here tonight. We mentioned their roster. When you look down it from top to bottom, you note that there are 28 seniors on this roster. The other 14 are all juniors. There are no sophomores and no freshmen on the Falcon roster. Martin's pass off the fingertips of Jaira Alexander, incomplete. 28 seniors, and Coach Soroch telling me that of those 28, 10 have been playing since they were sophomores. So that's a lot of veteran experience on a football team. 28 seniors and 14 juniors. So the babies on this team are juniors. So this may represent the Falcons' best opportunity to win a title moving forward who knows how long. When are you going to have a team again that's got 28 seniors on it? A lot of that due, of course, to the transfer of the players from Harrison to here, and Keon Shaw turns a loss into a gain of 8. You know what? I don't like that spot. They're going to mark him at the 43, and I thought he had gotten to the 41 and was driven back. It's a 6-yard gain out of all that for Shaw, and it should make for an interesting replay. Now they put it at the 42. That's a little bit better. Called a gain of 7 for Shaw, and it's 2nd down and 3. Yeah, I didn't like that spot at the 43 at all. I knew he'd gotten further upfield than that. I don't know what to describe this. Soroch is calling a timeout, Corey Soroch. I'll have to ask how I should describe that. An umbrella formation, basically, running from the right end position at the top of the screen and just working its way in an arc all the way across the field. I don't know what to call it. Time will tell whether or not Ferndale knows how to defend it. There's Coach Soroch, his 3rd year at Farmington. Started with that 3-6 campaign, but last year team started 5-0. Made it to the playoffs with a 6-3 record, then won a playoff game and finished the year at 8-4. Progress. And then this year starting 3-0. As we mentioned, the 3-0 start, the best by the Falcons since last year when they opened 5-0. Farmington's best starts, 1958 and 1950. Those two teams were 8-0, went undefeated on the season. Snap to Martin, dropping to throw, lobs it downfield, and it's broken up down there by Trajan Pickett. I believe it was Alexander, the intended receiver, number 2. So 3rd and 3. We mentioned the good news for the North Farmington Raiders is that their running back, who was injured late in the game last week, is going to sit this one out tonight for the Raiders as they play in Pontiac, but not seriously injured, just a bruised knee. Miles Gresham is expected to play next week. The Raiders will be on the road next week at Avondale. Hit as he throws is Martin. Xavier Green got to him. And as a result, the pass just wobbles and is incomplete, and it's 4th down. And the Falcons, for the first time tonight, are going to have to punt. 4 possessions for Farmington tonight. 4 times they've begun in Ferndale territory, but this is the first time a drive has stalled out on them. Or are they going to go for it here? They might just be going for it here, right? Or wait a minute, I'm sorry, that must have been the 4th down play. It's turned over on downs. Ferndale has it at the 42-yard line. There's another flag as the ball is snapped. I lost it down there somewhere. Well, these things happen. 1st and 10, Ferndale at the 42. And they'll walk it back 5 yards on a procedure call. And it's 1st and 15, Ferndale at the 37. The Eagles have spent the evening either with their offense either walking backwards or just as commonly walking to the sideline in dejection. Another whistle. And likely another procedure call against the Eagles. Eagles are going to call timeout, try to get themselves figured out, as they have penalized themselves into a 1st and 20 from the 32-yard line. Falcons 23, Eagles no score, as we're in the second quarter with a lot of time left in it. 10 minutes and 51 seconds of a 12-minute quarter remain to be played. The Eagles trying to figure it out here. The Falcons with a pretty good handle on things, you'd have to say. Head back out onto the field. So 1st and 20 Ferndale from their own 32. Lyleton with a quick handoff, but again, it's offside against Ferndale.
Flag on the play.
It's 1st and 25 from the 27 now.
First and 25.
Offside against the Eagles there. So that is 3 consecutive procedure calls against Ferndale since they had it 1st and 10 at the 42. It's now 1st and 25 at the 27. Oh, this is just demoralizing for the kids. It's got to be. They can't figure out a way to not make mistakes prior to the snap, and it's killing them. All that and the turnovers. So here we go again. The pitcher on the far left side will be good for a gain of 2 or 3 yards. 3 yards on the carry by Trajan Pickett. Train.
Brought down by Max Martin.
Martin gets the stop. 2nd down and 22.
2nd down and 22 yards to go for the Eagles.
Give up the middle, and the Falcons say, no, not open for business. Right at the tackle to number 12, Jordan Turner. Give Ferndale a gain of 1 yard. Call it 3rd down and 21 to go.
3rd down.
Ball's on the 31. The line to gain is in Falcon territory at the 48. A scrimmage from the 31. Lyleton, long pass, almost intercepted. It would have been the 2nd of the night for Roberson. Alan Roberson had the interception on the game's first play and almost got another one right here. Again, that the pass by Lyleton is just up in the air too long. Roberson came across, just had too much ground to cover to get to it. So it's 4th down. Sikora for Farmington back near his own 40-yard line as he awaits the punt by Kevin Seville. Good snap this time. Good high kick, too. Sikora will let it bounce. This is going to turn out to be a fine kick for Ferndale, with the football down at the 28.
Down at the 28-yard line.
So that's a 41-yard punt. So Farmington back on offense at their own 28. They take over with 9:17 left to go here in the half, leading the football game 23-0. All three of their touchdowns coming off turnovers. The other 2 points coming on a safety when Ferndale snapped the ball over the punter and out of the end zone. Martin handing off, and it's Turner. Nice job to cut it outside, and he's knocked down at the 37-yard line, and Turner, as easy as can be, picks up 9. And that's as apt a description as I can put on that one. He was running with ease. And it's 2nd and 1. Falcons looking to extend their record to 4-0 tonight. Max Martin, the 6'4" senior quarterback, keeps it.
And off to Turner, stopped at the 40.
Or check it, he handed it to Turner. And Turner gets 2 out to the 40. Jordan Turner with the first down yardage. Jordan Turner, senior running back, 6'3", 230. 230, you say? Well, that qualifies him as what is known in the game as a load. Keon Shaw, number 1, the tailback, 5'11", 199. More of a scat back type, right? Here he goes. Wow. Or check it, 13. Greg Moore on that carry.
First down, Falcons.
And a nice one it was. Down to the 42-yard line, gain of 18. Longest carry of the night for the Falcons. And another first down. 18-yard pickup. 1st and 10, and the Falcons are driving again here. They've scored on 3 of their 4 possessions tonight. This is Shaw. That's a solid 5-yard gain. The ball is moving and so's the clock. Still, though, just a little over 7 minutes to go here before halftime. Now exactly 7 minutes left. 2nd down and 5, Farmington at the 37-yard line of the Ferndale Eagles. They've been outclassed here in the first half, Ferndale. This time they give to Moore on that end in motion play. Breaks 1 tackle, and that's all he's going to be able to break. He's dropped for a loss of 3 yards back to the 30. Greg Moore on that carry. And it loses 3. 3rd down and 8. There's Max Martin, the quarterback. Corey Soroch, the 3rd-year coach of the Falcons. I'm wondering if the play has been entirely communicated to young Mr. Martin, the quarterback, number 4. Everything on this play is set up to the right. Straight drop back, a pump, and a long bomb deep downfield. Caught down there, touchdown. Caught in the end zone by Jacody Sikora. It is a 40-yard touchdown pass. 40-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and 8 to Jacody Sikora. He got in behind the defense, and Martin put the ball on the number 7. You see the release. And Sikora had a step on the secondary, And he catches the ball just as he crosses into the end zone. And is a 40-yard touchdown pass for the Falcons and a 29-0 lead. The snap is high, but the kick is true. It's 30-0. 30-0 with 5:49 to go here in the second quarter.
Special thank you again. Don't forget about Bush's of Farmington Hills, helping out our athletic program for the concession.
That is a 72-yard, six-play scoring drive for the Falcons. Took them 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Wow. Well, we know the continuous clock kicks in when the differential is 35 points and it's the second half. And the Falcons are now 5 points away from putting the Eagles in that mercy rule situation. 30-0 total dominance by Farmington tonight. This is looking like the most powerful Farmington team in, dare I say, ever. Maybe back to those teams of the 1950s that went 8-0. Good return by the Eagles here. Ultimately, it's a open field tackle by Farmington's Nolan Moore that puts an end to things. And Ferndale, their best drive start tonight. They'll be at their own 38. $30-0, Farmington. It's quite a sight on that scoreboard when you realize that we've got, when you see the time, 5:42, you're thinking, well, 30-0, like fourth quarter. But when you see it 30-0, 5:42 to go in the second quarter, that's quite a story being told there. 1st and 10, Ferndale from their own 38-yard line. Pitch comes to the near side, and it's no gain. How about that stop by David Pulaja? J. Sean Adams, the ball carrier, and he's stopped by Pulaja for no gain. Number 55 of the Falcons brought him down big time. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Boy, it is taking Ferndale a long time to run a play, isn't it? Falcons, they just look like they're, getting plenty of rest between snaps here. That can't be good for Ferndale. They'll pass here. They're going to try. Lewis under pressure. Gets the pass away and almost intercepted again. Broken up by Farmington's Aaron Watson. It was intended for Dalen Martin. So 3rd and 10. And again, Ferndale huddles up for a long time.
3rd down to go for the Eagles.
It's not like the Falcons are going to get winded with this much time between plays. Almost looks like Ferndale's drawing one up in the dirt here. So 3rd down and 10. And there's the whistle. Get a timeout call by the Eagles.
Timeout Ferndale.
Pretty sure that's their 5th of the half. It can't be. You only get 3, right? That's probably their 3rd, though. It just feels like we've had a lot of Ferndale timeouts here in this first half. 5:01 left to go in it. Farmington 30. Ferndale no score. The drama's been taken out of this one at this point, I would say.
Fight in this game.
So you see the teams there getting rested, getting ready for this 3rd down play. Still warm in our broadcast booth here tonight. Well, another month and we'll be complaining about how cold it is. Joe Louis Estelle, number 7, the quarterback. The ball on the turf momentarily, and loss on what winds up being a short carry by K.J. Lyles to number 8. Alexander among the Falcons on the tackle. It's a loss of 3, and it's 4th and 13. So Ferndale on that possession, three and out, and -3 total yards. They're going to have negative yardage for the half here. Well, unless something changes. They'll punt it away with 4:20 to go here in the second quarter. There's an errant snap. This is going to be trouble. Recovered by the Falcons. And they will scrimmage inside the 15, inside the 20, at the 15-yard line. Recovered down there by Cameron Sims. So another turnover. That's 4 on the night. And the Falcons, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Well, remember what we were saying about the continuous clock, right? Farmington with a 30-point lead. If they lead by 35 at any point in the second half, the clock will not stop except for change of possessions and penalties and scoring plays. Around the outside is Stevie Guerrero. Now coming back this way. He's out all the way beyond the 30-yard line, still on his feet. If he gets back to the line of scrimmage, this is going to be one of the great runs in Falcon history. He almost pulls it off. He went one way, he went the other way. He wound up losing 4 on the play, back to the 19. That's quite a play. That's the longest loss of 4 I've ever seen. And it brings up 2nd and 14 from the 19. Stevie Guerrero running for his life. He was almost all the way back to the 35-yard line on a play which began at the 15. A more conventional running play here. Shaw, though, only able to get it back to close to the original line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 16-yard line.
So the ball's at the 16, and it's 3rd and about 10. Officially 11, though. 3rd and 11. We will have the Falcon marching band for you here at halftime tonight. Also, I believe we will see the unified bands of Power Middle School and East Middle School. And the Falcons will gain no yards on that carry by Nolan Moore. So 4th and 11.
And on to Moore for loss of 1. 4th down and 12 for the Falcons. Eli Ride to attempt a field goal.
So we're going to see a field goal attempt here
34-yard kick.
of 34 yards. Eli Bride, the place kicker, from the right hash mark. Again, a 34-yard try. Good snap. Good kick. And it is no good. Oh, I thought maybe he'd made it, but it was wide to the right. Hit plenty of foot on it, but the field goal is no good.
First down, Ferndale.
And Ferndale gets the football back, still trailing 30-0. And they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the 20. I mentioned at halftime, we'll have it for you here on TV 10. The Falcon Marching Band and the middle school bands will all be out there. They do this once a year. They have the middle school bands come and play with the big kids to give them a taste of what life is like in the marching band at the senior high school level, at the high school level. And a good time is had by all. All the bands, the combined bands were out there for pregame tonight, and they sounded just terrific. A long bomb and an easy interception again by Roberson, his second pick of the night, and a good-looking return here. Down to the 20-15, spilled inside the 15, down near the 10-yard line. The guy who threw the pass, Kelvin Littleton, made the tackle on Alan Roberson, who just returned that football down to the, well, let's wait and see where they put it down. There's a flag at the end of the play. It's against Ferndale. It is declined. And here's the Littleton, the quarterback, number 8. Going deep. There's Roberson on the interception out near midfield. And very nearly a 40-yard return by him to set the Falcons up. They'll spot the football at the 14. I don't like the spot, but they didn't ask me either. Farmington has it 1st and 10 at the plus 14. Another, what is this, the 5th time tonight, maybe the 6th, I'll have to count, that Farmington has begun a drive in Ferndale territory, and Keon Shaw right up the middle. Spun to the turf by Xavier Green, but not before. He's inside the 10-yard line and down to the 9 for a gain of 5 yards. Such a good-looking running back, Keon Shaw. 2nd and 5 from the 9. Farmington 30, Ferndale no score. A minute and 25 left before halftime. The clock is running here at Falcon Field. Shaw again, this time he won't get anything, lose a yard. There were 4 Eagles there to greet him and drop him at the 10 for a loss of 1. So 3rd and 6, Max Martin, the quarterback, number 4, heading onto the field. And you watch Andre Wardlaw come back to the Falcon bench. Falcons break the huddle here for the 3rd down play. Nolan Moore, number 3, is at the top of your screen to the right. We've seen him a lot on the slot. Martin fakes, keeps, goes up the middle, and dekes and scoots and goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Farmington Falcons. Martin gets another one. A 9-yard touchdown run. He eludes a tackle, scoots past another one, and cuts his way into the end zone. And a 36-0 Falcon lead. We're going to have continuous clock in the second half. Oh, you'll be surprised at how quickly it goes by. Bride, off a high snap, has his kick blocked. That high snap threw the timing off, and the Eagles block it.
With 34.6 seconds left in the half.
So, 36-0 Falcons.
Ferndale Eagles.
35 seconds to go before halftime. And for the 4th time tonight, a turnover has resulted in a Falcon touchdown. And on 3 of those occasions, it has been an interception. There's a 14-yard, 3-play scoring drive. And the points off turnover number tonight for the Falcons is phenomenal. 4 touchdowns off turnovers for the Falcons in this one, in the first half of this one. 35 seconds, that's all that's left in the first half. Falcons scored 21 in the first quarter. They got 15 on the board here in the second. 2 touchdowns and a safety. He scored 5 touchdowns tonight. And a safety.
Right, ready to kick. Goes in. And number 23 back.
Kick's going to be returned. I believe that's Littleton. And he's slung down out past the 20, call it the 23. Well, if I'm Ferndale, I just take a knee in this situation. You just haven't been able to move the ball at all in the first half. You're back in your own territory. It's 36-0, and we're into the final minute of the first half. 22 seconds left. There's a Falcon out there without a helmet. I'm not sure what to do. He went to get the tee. That's it. He's looking for the kicking tee. All right, so they got that taken care of. And Ferndale comes to the line here. They'll snap the ball with 22 seconds left in the first half. Can hear the cheerleaders, so let's go Falcons. Well, they certainly have gone like a jet here in this first half. Littleton hands the second man through. The play loses a couple of yards, and that's going to do it for the first half, I'm pretty sure.
There's a flag on the play.
Oh, there's a flag. So hang on. They stopped the clock with 9 seconds to go for this. Personal foul, I think. Well, let's see who it is. I think it's against Ferndale. It was not a personal foul. I believe the Falcons have declined it. And it'll be 2nd and 11. We got 9 seconds to go before the half. And actually, I just wish they'd snap the ball and we could get to the marching bands. Whatever's going on down there, it's just flat out taking too much time. There can't be any purpose to all of this with 9 seconds to go in the half. Trex says one of the Ferndale players has been ejected. I do not see anyone going to the locker room. The visiting locker room is down beyond the south end zone to our right. They're having a long chat across the way with Eric Royal, the Ferndale coach, the officials are. Now Littleton, number 8, who was the quarterback, is on the sideline now, but he's not been the player that's been given the night off. He was just getting a play. Now they walk off the penalty. It's a 15-yarder. And the football will be all the way back to the 6. So it's still first down. But now it's 1st and 25, and the ball's back to the 6. 9 seconds to go in the half.
And that's the end of the first.
And without a snap, the clock started after they sent the ball for play. So without a snap, the half comes mercifully enough to an end. Well, what a half by the Farmington Falcons. Such dominance. The score at the break is the Farmington Falcons 36, the Ferndale Eagles no score. We'll see the Falcon marching band here at halftime and whatever else they have planned for us here at Falcon Field. When we come back, a continuous clock as we move into the third quarter. So there you see the score. The Falcons 36, the Eagles no score. Enjoy halftime, everybody.
They're a team comprised of girls from both Farmington Public Schools. They compete in 1 regional and 2 state competitions yearly. Smile, sparkle, and shine, ladies.
away from you. That's what I'm gonna do. I got the same old shoes with a new attitude. Why would I sing the blues for you? I say, hey, you can't stop me if you break my heart. It's 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. My feet go boom, boom, boom. Walking away from you. That's what I'm gonna do. I got a new tattoo. Don't know what to tell you. Got nothing left to prove to you. I say, hey, you can't stop me, 'cause my pain, is gasoline. I can't wake up with nobody if you break my heart. It's 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on, I'm going. There's a big storm, it's coming. Hold on, I'm going. There's a big storm, it's coming. Boom, boom, boom. My feet go boom, 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 boom. My heart beats boom, 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 boom. My feet go boom, 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 boom. My feet go boom, boom, boom. Walking away from you.
The Who is considered to be one of the most influential rock bands of the 20th century, selling over 100 million records worldwide. Their rock opera Tommy was a huge critical and commercial success. The band is pleased to perform for you selections from this milestone album. Senior Drum Major Bianca Allagon and Junior Drum Major Alyssa Hendry. Is your band ready? The field is yours. Our opener features music from the Overture and the Prologue 1945.
Make this my Falcons! We had a queue going.
Our second movement features Eric Saperstein in the beautiful ballad, I'm Free. This gives way to the quirky Tommy's Holiday Camp and ends with the epic Pinball Wizard. The band closes our show with all the musicians joining soloists Chloe McCormick and Emma Marks and I'm Free. We hear a heavy interpretation of Smash the Mirror and conclude with We're Not Gonna Take It. The band would like to thank Bushes and Fresh Time for their support this season. We welcome back the Power and East Middle Schoolers for one more fight song off the field here. Let's show some appreciation for our 8th grade musicians.
TV10 provides a pragmatic environment that exposes students to the power and purpose of television. Students learn to record and edit videos for projects and entertainment purposes, broadcasting local sport games, concerts, and board meetings for Farmington Public Schools. Students create content for TV10s on the spot and perform roles such as director, host, audio, camera operator, and much more.
It really provides an opportunity for students to get hands-on with the exposure to television and video production and what it can do to share a message and help inform people. And they can work with people of varying backgrounds. They can be a leader when they need to be a leader, or they could be a team member when they need to be a team member.
The FHS marching band production of the rock musical Tommy in their 2019 season. You can see it. Go to the website, the public school website. Check out their schedule. They perform in many competitions throughout the fall. It's worth going out and seeing them play. 36-0 running clock as we kick off to begin half number 2. The Falcons have got the 36, and Jacody Sikora up beyond the 45-yard line on that return, and wasn't that terrific? Wow, all the way out to the 47-yard line on that return. And I said Sikora, but I'm not sure that it was. It may have been number 3, with Nolan Moore on that return. So when the rule is in high school football, in Michigan high school football, when the point differential is 35 or greater, when it exceeds 34, the clock runs continuously, stopping only for penalties and touchdowns. And I think maybe change of possessions, I'm not sure on that. But we're in a running clock situation here. Running clock also at Pontiac tonight. And look out, Keon Shaw, who had 72 yards in the first half, busts one to begin the second half all the way down to the 26-yard line. He started at his own 47. And he carries to the Ferndale 27. So that is a 36-yard carry by Shaw. He's up over 100 for the night now at 108. And it is a 1st and 10 Falcons at the Ferndale 27 as they look for more. Guerrero under center. The handoff and a resulting loss of yardage. This time Shaw was grabbed almost as soon as the handoff was made, and they will say he was down at the 29 for a loss of 2. Could have been worse. So Shaw with a -2, 2nd and a dozen from the 29. So he's got 106 yards on the night now. He had been up to 108. A dominant performance by the Falcons. They outgained Ferndale in the first half 152 total yards to minus 16. Here's Shaw with a little seam up the gut, and he goes pounding down to the 22. Picks up 7. Third down and 5. So we'll keep an eye on Keon Shaw's yardage, 113 right now. He had, how many carries in that first half did Keon have? He had 9 carries. So he's had a dozen in the game now.
On the carry.
And make it 13 carries, and this time he picks up 2. 4th and 3 from the 20. We mentioned North Farmington, a 41-0 lead, 41-0 lead over Pontiac in the second quarter. We may get an update on that score. There it is. 55-0 North Farmington. So they're having a running clock there as well. Bride's field goal attempt is long enough, and it's good. Bride with a 37-yard field goal, and it's 39-0. So the clock stops after a scoring play. Other scores around the OAA, Royal Oak leading Avondale 7-0. And Pontiac Notre Dame beating up on Berkeley 34-7. Notre Dame's good again. I remember a couple years ago they came in and just beat out. It was a night I thought they should have stopped the football game maybe at halftime. Notre Dame was so dominant over North Farmington that night. They looked more like the South Bend version of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I mean, they were big. They were just beating up the Raiders, and it looks like they're back to that stage. Notre Dame Prep there in Pontiac. They're clobbering Berkeley tonight, 34-0. But nobody's beating anybody any worse tonight than North Farmington is beating Pontiac. It is 55-0 in favor of the Raiders. Poor Pontiac. And they're winless. They're terrible. It's almost like an insult because the Michigan High School Athletic Association has awarded Pontiac this year 2/3 of a playoff point at this point in the season. By the way, the Falcons lead the OAA Blue in High School Athletic Association points. They determine whether you get into the playoffs and where you're seated and all the rest of it. Falcons have 88 playoff points. The Raiders, North Farmington, 85 1/3 playoff points. And then all the way at the bottom is poor Pontiac, 0-3 on the year with officially 2/3 of a playoff point. But here, 39-0, Falcons with the lead. And as soon as Ferndale puts it in play, the clock will resume, now with 8:14 left in quarter number 3. Falcons are going to be 4-0 at the end of tonight. What they'd really like to do is polish off this shutout. If they can, it would be their first of the year. And if they can, they will have allowed 30 points in their first 4 games. So from their own 20, Ferndale scrimmages, and it's no gain on first down. Pickett, the ball carrier. So the ball remains right there at the 20. There's Corey Soroch, third-year coach of the Falcons. He looks unhappy with a 39-0 lead because all coaches, by law, they have to look unhappy all the time. They can't. If the coach ever looks satisfied, that means he's satisfied with his team. You cannot have that, okay? Because the guys always have to improve. You always got to get better. There's a long bomb by Ferndale, and it's caught down there. No, it's not. Oh, poor Kelvin Lilton. Open back behind the defense. Probably would have been an 80-yard touchdown, and he was unable to draw it in. Unable to reel it in. Unable to bring it down. Didn't catch the ball. That's too bad. Perfectly thrown pass. And a lot of time for Joe Louis Estelle to throw it. So it's 3rd and 10. Football's on the 20-yard line. 39-0 Falcons. Estelle to the left side. It's caught. This time Littleton makes a diving catch, a circus catch, if you will, but the gain's only 8. It's short of the line to gain. So 4th and 2 from the 28. A punting situation when you're that deep in your own territory, and a timeout called by Ferndale here. Timeout number 1 of the second half. Actually, they only gained progress to the 27, so 4th and 3 from the 27. Turn off number or turn over. Come on, Rich. Timeout. I wrote TO down. I'm thinking I wrote down turnover. Timeout number 1 for Ferndale here. So I was talking to Jeff Blashill. Let's drop names. I was talking to Jeff Blashill after the Red Wings game. Was it Tuesday night? They opened the preseason, played Chicago. Maybe it was Wednesday. At any rate, he was holding his presser after the game, and he was talking about one of the Red Wings that blocked a lot of shots, and he had an official stat sheet on the tabletop in front of him. And he said, "What's the abbreviation for blocked shots?" And I said, "BL." And he looks and he says, nope, it's BS. I said, they got to change that. And he got a laugh from the coach. He says, what does this AB mean? And I said, I forgot. At bats? Well, no, that's not a hockey deal. Turns out it's shot attempts blocked. So there's a little glossary on an NHL stat sheets that tells you what the little abbreviations are all about. But yeah, blocked shots, BS. Falcons call timeout now. I'm writing them down now for the critical moments in the game when we need to know how many timeouts are left. But I don't want to be taking any extra timeouts tonight. Timeout number 1, Farmington. Anyways, we have time to kill. May as well talk about the Red Wings. I thought those youngsters, the number 30 pick, the first rounder last year, Joe Valeno, looked. I got to watch. He didn't play Tuesday in Detroit. Did play Wednesday in Chicago. I thought it looked good. Moritz Seidel, the number 1 draft choice this year, that 18-year-old kid, did not look out of place. I'm wondering if he might make the team. They're talking about, everybody expects he's going to be sent back to Mannheim, Germany, but I'm wondering if he might not make the team. All right, here we go. It's 4th down. The ball's on the turf. It's a fire drill. It's a touchdown, Falcons. That ball just rolled into the end zone, and it is picked up in the end zone by Engelbert Wieland. How about that for the senior? Engelbert Wieland, what may well be his first touchdown ever. He recovers it in the end zone, and it is a 42-0 game. That is a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Another bad snap, and it is 45-0 with 6:07 to go in the third. Bride to make it, another point. It's good, and it's 46-0. What are people going to think when they check their scores later on tonight and they see North Farmington 55-0 and they see Farmington 46-0? I know what they're going to say. They're going to say, these teams meet in 3 weeks, right? In week 8, on October 18th, at Ron Holland Field, it'll be Farmington at North Farmington. What if both teams are undefeated? Assuming victories tonight, I think it's a pretty safe assumption for the 2 teams. The Raiders next week play at Avondale. The week after that, they play at Royal Oak. And then we'll see them next on October 11th when they're home for Okemos, to Okemos on homecoming. So I guess it'd be a month away before these 2 teams meet. Because 3 games left for the Raiders before we reach that point. Meanwhile, Farmington next week is home to Pontiac. We're going to have that one for you here on TV 10. It's going to be a blowout. And then the Raiders go to Avondale. The Falcons go to Avondale. Then the Falcons go to Berkeley. They should win that one. And then the game at North Farmington could well be that both those teams are 8-0 or 7-0. 7-0 that night. Because that is week 8 of the season. And it's a 9-week regular season. So how about, wouldn't that be something? That would be the biggest game in TV 10 history. Giving myself goosebumps already. Well, on the ensuing kickoff, following the fumble recovery in the end zone, the Eagles scrimmage from the 28-yard line. 46-0. And you wonder where the Eagles find the strength. Well, it is the indomitable spirit of youth. The fact that they'd like to bust up the shutout at least. And that's what's keeping them going. The pass complete off into the flats to Kelvin K.J. Lyleton.
Second down.
And that play picks up 7 yards. You know what? Make that an 8-yard gain out to the 36. So 2nd and 2. The Falcons burn their second time out of the half. 4:52 left to go here in the third. There you see it. Now here's where we're disagreeing. You see the scoreboard says the football's on the 35. I say it's on the 36. And you know why I say that? Because when I look at it through the binoculars, no part of the football is touching the 35-yard line. Therefore, the ball officially is at the 36. It's about 5 inches forward of the 35, so it's officially on the 36. That's just the way it works. I know it doesn't seem right, but they had to make a decision where to, are you going to use the line behind the ball or the one forward of the ball? And it's the one forward of the ball. So second down, or is it second down? It is. Second down and 2. And the pitch to Lyleton. Or I'm sorry, that's number 10, Trajan Pickett. Train's got the ball. And Train is out. They may have to measure. Nope, first down. Pickett gets 3. So the ball's on the 39, 1st and 10.
First down, Eagles.
And now if you look closely at the ball, see how the tip of the ball is touching the 39, so it's on the 39. Of course, it'd be on the 39 if it was 2 feet further back. It's either on the line it's touching or the yard marker in front of the football. Estelle with a bomb, but nobody home. Out of the reach this time of Littleton. The Falcons hip to the bomb that time. I thought they got fooled the first time when KJ couldn't haul it in. But they weren't fooled then. Other numbers for the Falcons. Max Martin tonight, 2 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown. And Jordan Turner, 4 carries tonight for 22 yards. The big story is once again Keon Shaw, as he's up to 113 yards now on 13 carries. Quick hitter. I'll tell you what, that ball looked to me like it was almost coming out of the grasp of the ball carrier, Jay Sean Adams. He's brought down at the 44-yard line for a pickup of 5 yards, 3rd and 5. There you see the marching band, the percussionists. Passed by Estelle, caught by Littleton, and for the first time tonight, Ferndale moves into Falcon territory. They will have a first down at the Farmington 48-yard line after the 8-yard pass. First down tonight for Ferndale comes with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They've gained more yards on this drive than they had in the entirety of the football game prior to the start of this drive. They had negative 16 yards in the first half. They'll pick up 4 yards on that carry by Tremaine Lee. 100 seconds to go here in the third quarter as the clock continues to run. Ferndale in no real hurry to get to the line. J. Sean Adams, number 23, moves from one side to the other. The pitch goes to Lee around the left side, and Lee gets good solid yardage there, and a flag comes in late. Lee finally brought down at the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 14. Another first down, but let's see about the flag. Now they're walking it off against the Falcons, and it's a personal foul, 15 yards, half the distance to the goal to the 15-yard line. Maybe a face mask, huh? I don't know. I tried to watch the official to get the signal. I didn't see one. So, 1st and 10 after the 15-yard face mask. 1st and 10, Ferndale from the Falcon 15. Falcons don't want to lose their shutout, but the Eagles are knocking on the door. Now, Joe Lewis Estelle is going to be dropped back in the 19 for a loss of 4, sacked down there. And number 50, Connor Unger, got to him first. Second and 14 from the 19. Getting some of those second stringers in there for the Falcons on defense. I'll tell you, hey, it's up to them to hold them off. 2nd down and 14. Estelle almost intercepted down near the goal line. A diving effort down there by Jaden Sikora, the junior Sikora brother. And so that's an incomplete pass, and the quarter comes to an end. There you see the breakup down there by Sikora. That Ferndale receiver standing on the goal line thought he was wide open. He was for a moment. Well, there's your score, 46-0 after 3. It'll be 3rd and 14 for Ferndale at the Falcon 19 when we pick things up in the 4th quarter. Falcons take a shutout into the 4th, but Ferndale knocking on the door. Almost reminds you a bit of what happened last week at Holland Field when the Raiders had a shutout going against these same Ferndale Eagles. And you'll recall it was a goal-to-go situation for Ferndale as the game went from the 3rd to the 4th quarter last Friday night. Little different situation here tonight. It's up to 62-0 now. The Raiders leading Pontiac. Sam Fisher staying all over the out-of-town board tonight, all over our stats as well, doing a terrific job for us up here in the booth. 62-0 North Farmington. The Farmington School District schools tonight are beating their opponents 108-0. Right? 46-0 here, 62-0 for North Farmington. Wow. That's something. That's never happened before, I'm sure of it. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 14, Ferndale. The Falcons looking to keep their shutout alive here. It's going to be a pass run option. There's a flag in the end zone as the pass is incomplete and out of bounds. But it might be pass interference against the Falcons. So that's going to be 1st and goal for Ferndale at the 1. That's about the worst thing that can happen. That is about the worst thing that can happen. Well, hang on now. The official says it's still 3rd down. So maybe it's a 10-yard walk-off, and it would be 3rd and it is. Well, everywhere else, pass interference in the end zone. Maybe the pass interference occurred in the field of play. It's a 10-yard walk-off. So that brings the football to the 9. It's 3rd and 4 from the 9 after the pass interference call against Farmington. All right, 3rd and 4. Joe Louis Estelle up under center with the pitch. The dive towards the end zone by Kelvin Lyleton. And he's tackled down near the 5-yard line. And he got the first down. So he needed 4, got 4. Littleton. It's only the 3rd first down tonight for Ferndale. They've all come on this drive. It is 1st and goal for them at the Farmington 5-yard line in a 46-0 football game. Joe Louis Estelle, number 7, with the pitch to Adams. Adams heading towards the goal line, and he's going to be brought down. Zach Holsgrove, number 10, was right there to wrap him up. A gain of a yard. 2nd and goal from the 4. There's that Falcon defense looking to hold them off here. They're not all of them the starters at this point in a 46-0 running clock football game. But what pride they would take in putting up a goal line stand right here. Second and goal from the 4. Around the left side towards the goal line and into the end zone goes Trey John Pickett. Train scores the touchdown. The little guy, the 5'7", 180-pound junior tailback. And he runs it in to put Ferndale on the board. 4-yard touchdown run. So Ferndale, give them credit. Down 46-0. They put together a 72-yard scoring drive. In 10 plays. There goes the shutout. It's 46-6. The 2-point conversion fails. And it remains 46-6 with just under 10 minutes left to go. 9:58 on the clock, which once the Falcons take possession will once again begin to run continuously. Well, for a moment the Farmington schools led 108-0 now, or 108-0 tonight. Now it's 108-6. Guessing it's been a while since the Falcons had a 40-point margin of victory. Notre Dame has gone up on Berkeley 43-7. And no change to report on the 62-0 North Farmington lead. That's a halftime score. That's amazing. That's got to be a school record. 62 points in the first half tonight for the North Farmington Raiders. And remember, Miles Gresham, their outstanding young running back, who's lit them up this year. 7 touchdowns in the first 3 games. Injured last week against Ferndale late in the game. It looked bad, but he apparently has just a knee bruise. He's taking tonight off as a precaution, and the Raiders have they've scored 62 points with their best player on the bench. Poor Pontiac. They're just overmatched at this level. Look at this return. Big time return for the Falcons. How about that? Is that Sikora? I think it is. I think that's number 7. It is. Wow, Jacody Sikora with that return into Ferndale territory to the 47. Oh, yeah, he's pretty pumped. He's amped. Yeah. He's telling the young Rockets player, see, you can do that. So the Sikora return to the Ferndale 47. I didn't see where he started, so I can't tell you exactly how long that was, but it's in the vicinity of 50 yards. Hang on a second, there's whistles. The clock is not running. The clock should be running. It's a 40-point margin here. The clock should be running. We should be preparing to go home. I should be sending Jim Sturdy out to warm up my car. Maybe get me a pop, you know, the usual. All right, here we go. 9:04 left as the Falcons take over here. They're going to keep it on the ground. That's a little surprise. And the ball carrier is Javen Culpepper, number 28. Here's the first carry. Maybe of the season. I don't know. Certainly tonight. And give him 2. To the 45. Well, the Falcons, the only thing they got to guard against is a letdown as they travel to, or they're home to Pontiac next week. That's our TV 10 game of the week. The Raiders on the road to an Avondale team, which went into play tonight 2-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference. That's what's coming up next week. And there's what would have been a first down pickup, but there's a flag thrown in behind the play. Ball carrier number 19, Ojemudia, Mario's brother. Mario Ojemudia.
Holding against the Falcons.
Falcons hold. And as almost always, what a flag behind the play means. The thing is, on a flag, the clock stops. All right, it's a spot foul back to the 50-yard line.
Second down and 13 for your Falcons.
So it's second down and 13 from midfield. Tell you what, they may pick up that. They do pick up that yardage. Oh. Culpepper, and what a run that was. He gets 30 yards, does Culpepper. Javen Culpepper, one of the juniors, one of the 14 juniors on this team, 5'8", 172. Culpepper for 30 and a first down. We would be remiss if we didn't tell you the Falcons had changed quarterbacks. And in there up under center now is Justin Ozdich. O-Z-D-Y-C-H, Ozdich. He was a 5'11", 148 junior. Justin Ozdich. Looking to the sideline for the play, and there's a whistle. I think the Falcons called timeout. Or maybe delay. Yep, delay. There's a flag. So it's second and 15. 46-6, we should remind you. Clock running, 6.5 left to go in the football game. Pitch around the left side for Ojemudia. And he's brought down at the 31. That's a loss of 6. .21 yards to go on second down here. The line to gain is the 10. The line of scrimmage is the 31. Coach Siroch coaching here. Culpepper, boy, he just finds that little seam and he may go here. He's still on his feet inside the 5-yard line. Holy cow. Number 28, Javen Culpepper, opening some eyes here. as he is all the way down to the 4 for a gain of 27. First and goal at the 4, and Culpepper on this drive runs of 30 and 27 yards. He's the second leading rusher now for the Falcons tonight. So first and goal to go. Well, I say give it to Culpepper, let him score. He's the tailback. Osditch looking to get the play from the sideline. Now quickly up under center. It is Culpepper, avoids 1 tackle, 2, and 3, and picks up 2. As he had an enormous Ferndale player on top of him, number 23, J. Sean Adams, who looks a lot bigger than the 5'11", 180 he's listed at in the program. The gain is 2. And the Eagles call timeout. Now Culpepper opening eyes here in the booth. Ferndale using their second timeout. They stop the clock with 4:25 left in the football game. Did you notice that right there on that shot that Coach Siroch sort of took Andrew Ojemudia by the arm and guided him towards the bench as opposed to the field? I think the coach is sending Andrew a message here of some sort. Culpepper is the tailback with the yellow sleeves there. It's a great shot of the football on the 2-yard line. Goal to go. Number 17 is the quarterback, Justin Osditch. There's Culpepper coming towards the camera. There's a flag. Culpepper got in, but there's a flag. So nobody thinks it's a touchdown. On the penalty, the ball back to the 7-yard line. Second and goal from the 7. Culpepper gets the 5 yards back, or 4 of it anyways. He's down to the 3. Third down, goal to go, 3-yard line.
And down and 3 to go.
.64 yards gained on the ground on this drive by Culpepper. Needs 3 more, gets them for the touchdown. What a performance there on that drive by Javen Culpepper. He goes into the end zone to make it 52-6. Let's do that drive. He had a 2-yard carry, a 30-yard carry. That's 32. 22-yard carry for 54. And then 6 more. Give him 60 yards on the drive. Extra point by Bride is up. Good. And the Falcons lead this one 53-6. 3:26 left, running clock. 53 points by the Falcons tonight, 62 on the board at halftime by the Raiders. I'm going to have a word with the graphics department. They appear to have a Ferndale Eagles logo, but no Farmington Falcons logo. Couldn't find one of those. It's a black F, people. It's a black F. Come on, guys. The truck reminds me it's early in the season. It's not. It's week 4. We're almost halfway. We're halfway through the season after tonight. In fact, we've Well, now the truck is just offering up weak excuses. Week 1 with the Falcons. You knew it was coming. Oh, well, maybe by next week, huh? It's a block F. Gee whiz. You got talented people down there in graphics. Draw one. Oh, my golly. Oh, the truck is reminding me I should be grateful for little mercies. There we go. 3.5 to we can get up here. 53-6 Falcons, and the kickoff will not be returned. All righty. Well, the Falcons are going to be 4-0. We need to prepare ourselves now for a world in which the Farmington Falcons are 4-0 and might not be the best team in the district. The North Farmington Raiders are going to be 4-0. And the clock, as we mentioned, it's ticking. Are they both will they both be undefeated when they meet on October 18th at North Farmington? I think the big question is the unknown here. It would be Okemos, all right? In, 3 weeks from tonight, the Raiders are back home, homecoming, and Okemos is the opponent. They play up there in, of course, one of the leagues near Lansing, Capital Cities League or some such, and they're kind of an unknown quality to us. They have a lot of good football teams up there in Lansing. We know that. So we'll see. Because it certainly looks like the next two on the Raiders' schedule are winnable. Avondale and Berkeley. There goes a bomb, and it's caught down there. Pickett hauled that one in. And that's a 40-yard gain to the 40-yard line. Oh, there's a flag. Is there a flag? There's a flag. Oh, it's against the Falcons, and it's declined. So it is a 40-yard pass play. As Estelle finds Pickett for 40. First and 10. Eagles at the Falcon 40. 3:15 to go. Clock is running. Pretty nice play, Eagles. And again, those not the starters for the Falcons are getting some valuable experience out there. But all of a sudden, the Eagles find they can move the ball. Joe Louis Estelle going deep again, and again trying to find Pickett. This time down near the 10, but the ball sailed out of bounds, incomplete. All right, make a note of it. Now, two little beverages are not enough for me for a full game. Came up a little short here. Getting the dry mouth. Keep running clock, 2.5 to go. Falcons with that 47-point lead. They scored 21 points in the first quarter tonight. They got an interception on the first play of the game by Alan Roberson. Turned that into a touchdown. Got an interception on the second Ferndale possession of the night. That one was intercepted by Aaron Watson. A fumble on the third possession. Look out. Well, Ferndale puts it in the end zone. It's a 40-yard run by Trajan Pickett. He just raced down the right sideline all the way in, and the Eagles here go 80 yards in 3 plays to score. A 40-yard pass, an incomplete pass, and a 40-yard run. 80 yards in 3 plays. That makes it 53-12. Ferndale will try for 2. Well, I'll tell you what, if the Falcons couldn't shut them out, their number 1 goal, I'm happy that these kids that have been beaten so soundly here tonight are at least, experiencing the joy of a couple of touchdowns here at mop-up time. Pass interference in the end zone here. And you got that kid Pickett with that 40-yard touchdown, with that 40-yard catch after he had missed what might well have been a 80-yard touchdown completion the previous drive. Calvin Littleton is who I'm speaking of here. You got Trajan Pickett, the train, the little guy. We enjoyed watching him play against North Farmington last week, and he just scored there on a 40-yard play. So you're happy for the young people. And if you're not going to shut them out, what's the difference if you give up 1 touchdown or 2? I mean, really, at the end of the day, when you're in a continuous clock situation, you're going to win by a margin of 40+. Pickett again, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion.
Two-point conversion is good.
So Train with a 40-yard touchdown run and a 2-point conversion.
Farmington Falcons 53.
And it is 53 to 14.
14.
And we wait now for this one to come to a merciful end. I did notice on the scoreboard it said each team had 3 timeouts remaining. I'd take issue with that. I don't think they do. Unless you do get 5.5, which I don't think you do. So the Falcons here will get ready to host Pontiac 1 week from tonight. And Pontiac again just getting drilled tonight by the North Farmington Raiders. 62-0 was the halftime score. We haven't seen an update on it in a little while. The updater may have given up. So the Raiders are 4-0. The Falcons are 4-0. They are the only unbeaten teams in the OAA Blue. That was true coming into play here tonight. Standings in the league entering play tonight. The Falcons and the Raiders tied for first. Avondale, with a 1-0 conference record, was in third place, 2-1 overall for Avondale. Everybody else a losing record. Ferndale's going to be 1-3 after tonight. Royal Oak came into play tonight 1-2. Berkeley 0-2. Pontiac 0-2. They're going to be 0-3. We know that. So it's going to be a battle of an unbeaten versus a winless right here at Falcon Field 1 week from tonight. Our game of the week on TV 10. Sam Fisher already looking forward to it. Maybe not, he says. Well, that could be, wow. That could be a continuous clock before we get to halftime. If the rules permit it, which they don't. It's got to be in the second half for a continuous clock, even if you are leading by 35. It's running here, 90 seconds left to go before we watch the teams shake hands at midfield. On that Falcon logo. Yeah, there's a thought, guys. You could take a picture of the logo at midfield and put that in the graphic. It's a block F. All righty. Yeah, the Falcons in victory formation here. They don't want to. There it is. Isn't that beautiful? I believe that was drawn by a student. I know that was what happened at North Farmington. I think it's the same situation here at FHS. That's when I went to school here. It was a block F at midfield. Of course, that was a long time ago. However, never forget, people. The Farmington High School class of '73 continues to rule. That's just the way it is. 40 seconds to go. Nice to see the band director, Michael Steele, here tonight. Have a little chat with him. Get caught up. My daughter used to be in the marching band here. We're Falcon people. All right, that's going to do it. They've taken this last snap. We still have 25 seconds on the clock. It's running down. And the Falcons will shake hands with the Ferndale Eagles in a game that will officially end, as you see, in a few seconds. And the Falcons go to 4-0 in 2019. Final score tonight is Farmington 53 and Ferndale 14. So they march on to the Falcons here in 2019. They've followed up last year's 5-0 start with a 4-0 start here in 2019. They strike up, fight for Farmington, and that's going to do it for us here on TV 10 tonight. Thanks to Jim Sturdy down in the truck running the show, Sean McGuckin, Don Carter, Sam Fisher up here in the booth with us. My name's Rich Kincaid. 1 week from tonight, we're right back here at Falcon Field. Pontiac comes calling, and the Falcons roll tonight 53-14 over Ferndale. And from Farmington High School, we say good night, everybody.